Hello and welcome to another vlog with your host Eamon Standing. This is another Pugley one, although this is a little bit less related to Pugley itself. It's more to do with Pugley and how it was put together and where it actually fits in. So you may remember me saying that Pugley was a third of my comics, and it came after Talisman Rogue, which was very long form short storytelling. It's unfortunately on hiatus at the moment, but I do have a nice plan for bringing it back. You've got the setting, which is shorter form. It's a 12 issue, and that is written. It's all written. Just needs to be drawn. Also, pretty long, a long project. And then you've also, your Jefferson Pugley, which is each book is episodic. You can read each book separately. You probably get more out of it if you do read them in order, but you don't have to read them in order. I'd say the only order that really happens is I think you need to read number 5 as the 5th one. Hence Jefferson Pugley v Bad Medicine. Just because I think from reading the other books, you can understand Pugley himself as a character a bit better, and Alex and Vicky, and it just makes it make a whole lot more sense. So today I'm going to talk about the advantages of short form storytelling, and this is kind of advice to anyone who's starting out comics. So obviously Talisman Rogue, I love it. It's my first comic. I do want to finish telling it, but it will take years, like decades, to actually finish the written story. The story's all treated. It just takes so long to draw and remaster and all that kind of stuff. Likewise with the setting, although much shorter. I mean, it's a 400-page book. I've written longer thesis, but yes. A lot of the times I've seen this with quite a few comic people from when I've done Comic Cons and just the Comic Village Alliance CVA stuff, which is a lot of starting creators that have a very, very big vision. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that life has a way of getting in the way unless you don't let it. I have seen people be successful with a clear single vision, but you got to have a hell of a dedication to do that. And I think possibly if I'd never made Pugley as an alternative to Talisman Rogue, maybe Talisman Rogue would have kept on going and become just as successful as Pugley. But the fact that I decided to make something not out of necessity, I just wanted something else to bring people to the table, so to speak, literally to the table I was selling books at. A long form project takes a lot of time, and from a customer point of view as well, is a big dedication. You're buying books from someone, or reading them online, and you obviously want to hear the end of the story happen within your lifetime. And it's always sad when you don't get to see the finish of what you've invested in. I mean, obviously things like One Piece and Naruto, it's very bittersweet when they end, because and One Piece is still going, so that's great. But I love One Piece. But it's the fact is that you do get to the end. When you're left hanging, that's when it gets a bit painful from a fan point of view. So if you're going to start out a comic, I really, really highly suggest, and you'll see this with comic publishers as well, is they want you to tell one single story, one short story, and so to customers in some respect, they'd rather have one shot that they can take away and be like, oh, I got this complete story in one little book. And I think that's where Pugley really had its success over the setting in Talisman Rogue is that you get people who were what's the word? They would compulsively buy Pyroclastic Hoover Tube over any other book because it's the first book that was written, and they want to be sequential about how they're experiencing Pugley, which is fine. But I still have plenty of people who have bought Roller Coaster Extraordinaire first, or Jefferson Pugley versus Jefferson Pugley first, or even Take to the Skies first, and I've had a lot of good feedback about each single book as a single piece of literature. But the people who actually come back and they buy the other ones, the level of enjoyment on them is at such a higher level. And I think that's why Pugley, where I got it right with Pugley and not so much with Talisman Rogue in the setting, because I'd, as I said to other creators who were just starting out, try and tell a small story first. And you can, and I'm sure you can, tell a huge long form story, but life itself might prevent you from getting to the point where you can tell all of it in as quick amount of time. And Talisman Rogue has been hiatus for a while, partially to do the PhD, partially to make sure the Pugley gets done, and because Pugley was more successful, and I gave myself other options other than Talisman Rogue, is the route that I had to go down. So the takeaway from this video is, if you're a starting off comic creator, I really highly recommend making one-shots, because they can be taken away, they can be enjoyed as a complete thing. If you do choose to do a really long form story, you really, really got to stick it out to make something of it big. But if you do manage to stick it out, the chances are you're going to do very well. So that's my takeaway. I think there is an advantage in short form storytelling from a customer point of view, from a consumer point of view, and from a point of view of yourself. You're not burdened by the responsibility to tell the story that you've started. So there are, I mean, I've got 6 Pugley books out, and there's plenty of Pugley stories I want to tell, but I can tell them all as individual books, and it wouldn't matter if I didn't make another Pugley book. Where it does matter that I have to make another 17 Talisman Rogue books if I want to finish it, or another 10 setting books if I want to finish it. So that's my 2 cents on long form and short form comic storytelling, and I hope it's been enlightening and given you something to think about if you're a creator, or just been an interesting listen if you happen to be a fan of Pugley. And as I said, if you really want to support the channel, go and read Pugley at pugleycomics.com, and if you really, really want to support the channel, go and buy a copy, maybe for you, maybe for some friends if you enjoyed them. So take care, and thank you for listening.